start talking about some of the strategy for how I am planning this turbo build. And one of the main things that I did is sit down and compare the costs back and forth between several different options. So you've got the Bell Engineering Shanghai kits. Ready kits don't seem to be around anymore. There's a few different supercharger options, like Fast Forward Superchargers is a really good one. I've talked to Tom through email a bit, and he's a real knowledgeable, real nice guy. There's the Rotrex kit, which everyone's interested in, and that one is mocked on the forums for making negative torque. There's some other kits. There's Flying Miata, and there's the El Cheapo eBay quick blow turbos. The kits with the thin wall steel that hits the high temps and then starts spitting out bits and pieces, or the turbo just falls off the engine. You know, fairly normal things. So I sat down and compared costs, and I'm going to walk through a spreadsheet of some of the estimates that I've done, because you can also buy just DIY kits where you source your own turbos, and so it kind of goes like you're going to need maybe like $2,000 or so for the Beggy Shanghai turbo kit. Then you're going to need, you can do for probably about the same money, you can do the Flying Miata DIY kit. There's also a new option on the blog that's closer to, I think, about $1,500. That's the new CX Racing 1.8 turbo kit. And that turbo kit is about, I think that one's about $1,500. And you want to use a little bit of caution with that kind of a kit. It looks like it actually mounts in a pretty good place. Most of the options that I see for the 1.8s don't have a location for an EGR bung, so that's something to keep in mind. Is you may have an issue with EGR compliance, and there's a bunch of people that make block-off plates for the EGR, and that's fine. But there's some places, like probably especially in California, you're going to have a lot of emissions trouble if you've just eliminated the EGR system. So I don't know all of the details on a state-by-state basis, who cares and who doesn't. I've done EGR delete on a couple custom cars before, but I was tuned well enough that I still passed the sniffer test for emissions in the tailpipe, so that wasn't as big of an issue. And it was so completely customized that they didn't know what was or wasn't missing from the vehicle, so that was kind of an advantage. There's some other things as well to consider. One of the biggest is probably you want to consider, I guess, what type of turbo that you're going to be wanting to run. Now, there's kind of some idea out there that you can't run a T3 because you'll end up with a Miata that's no faster and it only spools at 5,000 RPM. All I have to say to that is go take a look at Tom's Turbo Garage and his sunflower project, as his coworkers named it. So he was able to run a T3, and he actually had really good spool. So he wasn't waiting for it to get to 5,000 RPM before he had full power. So it is possible to run a T3 comfortably, but there's also T25 options. So you just got to think about what turbo size you're going to be running. So there's the thoughts that I have for planning at least the turbo part. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe or dislike if you're one of those folks, and come back for more great content. Thanks.